Well, the stage behind me is literally set for the first PV magazine Future PV Roundtable here at Renewable Energy India. Now, it is an innovation-focused event, and we'll be examining some of the pathways and drivers of innovation in two panel discussions and a number of expert presentations. By drivers, I mean things like government policy, which can actually foster innovation within the industry. And of course, the Bureau of India Standards are coming into the Indian PV sector and are looking to shake things up and hopefully foster innovation in the sector. We're also looking at bifacial technology, one of the key technology trends in 2018, to look at what are the enabling technologies and also what are the challenges. Subbu Polipaka from Sareva, you joined our panel discussion when we were discussing standards, but before that you presented on module level power electronics and their role, which is only at an emerging stage today in India. What was the kind of key message that you're expressing in terms of MLPE and its role in as an innovative product here in India?
Well, the message is bifacial, like the discussion that we started with. So the first message is that quality aspect, at least in the module level, should not be overlooked, and there's a very, very dire need to venture into that domain while you talk about the panel level monitoring aspect. There are very good market offerings from the West which are still not being digested in Indian market. So that is the first part of the message is to develop an appetite for such technology, which will have a huge impact on the market. The second message is for the young innovators or the entrepreneurs that this is a domain that you can look upon instead of accumulating on the EPC side. So I think both of these messages would be well taken, and then we will have, although in infant stage, we'll have MLPE market as a significant contributor for quality in the Indian scenario.
Jan Grimberg is the Global Business Director, DSM for solar photovoltaics. Jan, you made a key point, I think, during the discussion at the Future PV today regarding end of life and the importance of having eco-friendly materials and modules and components in our PV systems. Why is that something that you feel strongly about that we need to do as an industry?
Oh yes, I feel very strong about that personally, but also as a company, DSM. If you look at the DSM as a company, we are a company that has sustainability right in their core values. And if you project that to solar, we all as an industry claim that solar is a green energy, which it is basically. It's a green energy, a renewable energy source where everybody feels good about. What we cannot feel good about it is that we don't take care of the end of life of PV modules, because we cannot call ourselves green if we don't tackle that last component as well. And I think as an industry we owe it to ourselves and to the world that we take this topic very, very seriously. And just to give you an idea, is that by 2050, and I made that remark before, is that about 15% of total e-waste in the world is expected to come from solar PV. And that's a major issue. And that's something we believe that we as an industry, we need to tackle that from the very beginning, because we are today creating the waste of in about 25 years. So we better now take action, and we design new materials, we incorporate new solutions throughout the whole value chain, which result in, let's say, tackling the whole recycling issue.
Dr. Christoph Hartnick is with marketing with Heraeus Photovoltaics and Renewable Energy. Christoph, we had a discussion about standards in enabling innovation. What's the clear role you see that, particularly in PV?
The standards for innovation, for innovative materials, are the key to introduce new materials to customers, to the markets. Standards lay the basis to compare materials. They also lay the basis for commercialization, because then you can demonstrate the efficiency, the increased efficiency, the benefit of new materials to your customer, to the markets.
And we had a very lively discussion about end of life and recycling. Here, definitely materials play a role because toxic materials are more expensive to recycle. What kind of role is Heraeus playing in this kind of end of life recycling part of the ecosystem?
Heraeus takes a close look at the end of life of materials. Recycling of materials ensures that especially the precious materials like silver are kept in the loop. Heraeus is active in this field. Just to mention, last week we opened the world's largest factory for precious metals in Nanjing in China. This is a 120 million project, creating space for over 200 employees in this area. And this is an invest in the future, covering all aspects like Industry 4.0, like digitalization, and ensuring that precious metals are kept in the loop and are available for future applications.
Well, that was the Future PV Roundtable at REI, and it's pleased to see that there is a high level of agreement, a lot of agreement amongst our panelists and presenters, that there is a huge amount of innovation occurring and that some of the challenges to innovation are being overcome, particularly in technologies of the near future, like Bifacial. Very interesting discussion about standards and the role that plays in innovation, in particular in terms of end of life. So thank you to Heraeus, our Future PV partner. My name's Jonathan Gifford, the managing editor at PV Magazine.